Okay, this is a quick video of my Tamiya TT02B Neo Scorcher. It's pretty much stock except for bearings, and instead of the torque tune motor that comes with it, I have a sport tuned in there. You can see the Tamiya large dish wheels. These are Proline Dirt Hogs on here, and a few reasons for that. I mean, obviously, you know, these are bigger, so there's better ground clearance and just different tire options. I also got these very nice Tamiya dual block. One other great customization is the cracked spoiler, you'll notice, which is just fantastic, but I am going to replace it. But I do have this other racing wing which is going to go on there. I put some decals on it. So here's what's coming. Replacing all of this steering linkage with this nifty kit from Jazz Rider, all this nice red aluminum. Replacing the main shaft with this nice aluminum, as well as main shaft cups, this one under here, and this joint back in that gearbox there. Another upgrade I'm gonna be doing is the full turnbuckle set, which will replace the upper suspension arms in the back, the upper suspension arms in the front, right here, and this steering tie rod, I guess, this steering piece. And I believe this piece of the attached to the servo horn as well, with adjustable turnbuckles. You could adjust them while they're on the vehicle after you have the turnbuckles in by turning these middle pieces, so you'll be able to adjust and tighten up and adjust your steering and suspension. Finally, I'll be replacing the stock dog bones with steel universal shafts. So these drive cups and the stock dog bones I'll be replacing with the Tamiya gearbox joints are steel, and these DFO2 universal shaft assemblies. So we're going to be doing those front and back. Okay, so remove the front and rear upper suspension arms, dog bones. Disconnected the steering linkage. How to take off the motor cover, this rear gearbox gear cover here, and pretty soon we're going to be opening the gearboxes, getting the shocks off. Then of course, you know, we're going to take these out, get the universals in, but that's later. So first thing we're going for, get these shocks off and get the center shaft replaced. Okay, so here is the rebuilt center shaft, prop shaft. I also cleaned up the bearings with some power shot. I'm going to re-lube and clean everything. So getting ready to drop that in, but first obviously there's some cleaning that needs to happen. Now the diff's exposed, I'm going to clean out these bearings, probably maybe lift the diffs out, clean it out, re-lube it. Okay, so center shaft is in with joints. Center shaft and joints in, and the diffs were taken out, cleaned up, gears lubed. We're going to put the gearbox joints in, universals, and then we're going to start on the turnbuckles. So this is the steering rod that's from the turnbuckle set, and I think I'm going to use that to replace this centerpiece right here, this steering rod from the original kit. I do have the piece of aluminum, which is this one right here, you know, that can replace this one from the original set, and it would look cool, but see, the thing about this is it's adjustable, so I'm going for this one. Now here are all the turnbuckles built to size according to the diagram. Okay, so steering linkage done. A few adjustments, but it's together. And so next step, tie rods, the steering tie rods. But before I do that, I'm probably going to assemble the universal shaft. Here's the steel universal shafts, front and back, all four that I made. And I have to say, they were not the easiest to assemble. There's really small grub screws that need to go in there, and the pins need to line up, but here they are. Also, I just pulled off the shocks and swapped out the shock oil and cleaned them up. Universals in, front upper arms in, and steering tie rods in the front. I had to take this off of the stand to do this, so I thought I'd show it right here. So I'll put the shocks back on, and then time to start on the back. So there's the rear universal in and the rear upper arm. And the shocks are back on. So next thing to do is just plug in a battery, test it out, make sure everything is running smoothly. Probably the most obvious benefit with this steering setup is just how tight it is. There's absolutely no wiggle room anymore. And I haven't even adjusted the the tie rods yet. So that was a huge improvement right there. The other thing which is difficult to show is the angle of the tires and the alignment front to back, and the angle of the tires this way as opposed also the way they meet the road, tilted outward at the top or inward. It's called the camber and the toe in, but that's also now adjustable just by taking the tool and turning these turnbuckles right here. And there it is, finished. Well, for now. So maybe next upgrades might be a brushless motor, shocks, but time to test it out. Unfortunately, it's raining today, so it'll have to wait for a road test. Thanks for watching. Hope the video was informative and that you enjoyed it.